Welcome to another edition of Daytime Today here on JLJ Media. I'm James Lott Jr. I just finished crying my eyes out watching Bobbie's funeral. I have cried every day since they first announced it. It has been super emotional. I think for most of us, knowing that behind the scenes, they lost a colleague they loved. It reminded me of JR's funeral when Larry Hagman died in real life. You could tell, especially Patrick Duffy and Linda Gray. I know stuff was scripted, but it felt as real as anything because they were friends in real life all those years. So many people in this storyline literally had on-screen work with Jackie Zeman for decades, and they wisely focused on them. I have to say, nothing is perfect. Obviously, you can't get everything you want. Is not perfect, but for what they did, I give it an A minus. Not A plus, but I give it an A minus. That's my reaction. There are a few things which they could have done, but it's still in the A family because it was a beautiful tribute, and the right people were focused on Felicia and Maxie, Scotty, Lucy, Tracy through Luke, Laura, yes, Laura. Um, could we have Felix and Lucas come back and have our gay couple? They should be together. That their one scene together, I was like, they should be together. Why are they not together? Why aren't they on the show? Why? Welcome back, Ryan Carnes, my friend. Good to see also my buddy um playing Felix. I just why that's another story. That's why that's where the A minus comes to. Like the scene was good. I just wish there was more with them. Um, but Lucas coming in and kind of acquiescing to his older sister, being standing next to her, being with her. I just thought that was just brilliant stuff. We know Eden McCoy was mourning her own mother's loss, so she wasn't there. So I wish Eden was there, just kind of to see her reaction. But the actress who worked um, was fine. Same with Michael, but it wise he didn't focus on them. Um, Another minus is that Sam and Lucas are brother and sister. It's like we didn't even show him hug. She hugged Carly, and that's the only hug Lucas. Go and talk to him. We never saw that scene. That's where minus comes in there too, because they were close also. Um, but the rest of it, some of the flashbacks we saw, Elizabeth going to do a new Kelly sign. It's a good way to update the show. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. And then bringing Brighton back, who played BJ. She's a beautiful young woman now. Looks like she could be Jackie Zeman's daughter. Um, Having her there and having her and Maxie, with Kirsten Storms playing the adult, basically, she's not BJ, of course, she's something else, but it was like they're together and the adult versions. And it's very cool the way they incorporated the story. Um, I like the opening. They show first read. I mean, Laura Wright, I've seen some criticisms, and I'm just like, no, she has to anchor the story. It's her mother. She's the lead of the show. It starts with her. I loved even before this, the day before, her quiet, emotional work with Maurice Bernard, um, sitting in the dark, you know, what do you call it, restaurant, sitting and talking about their marriages, the whole thing. It was like every time we got divorced, she never said it's always so funny. Um, that was good work too. Having Felicia really feel it. Her daughter is alive because of Bobbie and the late Tony making that decision, and she wisely just remembers that it's really hitting her. She has a daughter because of Bobbie. That makes sense how close to her. Having Anna, just her emotions in there. Alexis remembering they showed the flashback. I mean, like Bobbie was around for everyone. I mean, she was in everything. She was around for so long. It's like it's amazing. Laura's eulogy, I have nothing, no fault. It was really good. And the way she kind of championed towards the end of the eulogy, it's like, we got to, when she says about forgiveness and love, and we all, and she goes, and we all got to witness that. And the way she said it, her voice got a little louder. It's like we all got, we're so fortunate. I was sobbing like a baby. I was like, that is like, what a tribute. They had a complicated history at first, but they did become friends. They were more than sisters-in-law. Um, Tracy, Jane Elliott, wonderful work. Her and Carly were never close. Didn't matter. Same with her and Lucy. This is a truce. It's about, for her, it's about Luke. And Luke loves Barbara Jean. He did love Barbara Jean. And her scenes with Carly were authentic. They were like, they were fun. They weren't super mushy, but they're just like, you know, we're all kind of part of the same crazy family, so to speak, through marriage. And later when we find out that Bobbie had a whole side thing and her and Tracy talking, I loved it. You never thought Tracy and Carly on the same side or something. But it was revealed that Bobbie was also helping with true human trafficking of women. And they actually rephrased the whole situation. And her and Laura kind of brought up a little bit, but Carly and Tracy talked about it. I love their conversation about it. That she was helping in Amsterdam get this, you know, now it's a new adventure for Carly and Felicia. I'm encouraged to see those two together. Never see them together, but a great way. And I thought that's inspired. But the whole thing that's not, they stopped calling it teenage prostitution. Let's call it for what it is. It was trafficking. She had no choice. And when Carly and Tracy talked about it, and she was like, Luke loved his sister. I know he did, but he could have told. He could have went to the police. And she's like, it's a different time, basically. They would have got her more. But they came to an agreement that it was bad. And I was thinking about it. I'm glad they kind of addressed it, that Luke protected her in his own way, but he didn't stop it. And Ruby was her madam. So it was like there was some, they reconciled all of that. But the more important thing was that there were two things going on. One, putting a light on something that's really serious, but also number two, that she overcame stuff, that she was bright and effervescent in spite of her traumas. And that's a lesson for anybody, male or female. As some of you know, I'm a survivor of sexual assault and violent action. So I try to thrive as well as I can too from that. You find a place for it. And I think that's what was so great about Bobbie, because Bobbie really did. She was the most positive person out there. And some of us who smile and laugh and bring positivity to others, we've had pain. I mean, pain you can't even imagine inside. But sometimes we find ways to handle it and do good with it, so to speak, right? And that's what Bobbie did. But I thought it was a fine episode. I say I give it an A- in terms of grades. If it was 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8. I said, oh, just a couple of little things here and there. There were just some stuff I just knew. They mentioned where Monica was when there. People were asking where Robert was. That was kind of weird he wasn't there, because he could have been there with Anna and them. Those are little small things. I think having Felix there was, like I said, we didn't see him until he was carrying the casket. I know folks are mentioning the casket stuff. Drew should be there because he's supporting his woman. They're together. I mean, I would want him next to me too, supporting also. And I love when Connie says there were two people who help change her. I like to think she said Bobbie was one. She didn't say the other person. I think it's Jason. That's just me. I think it's Jason. Or her kids, one or two, Jason or Michael. One, it's like they were the kids. I don't know, it's like that. And that was good. I thought it was good. And I look forward to seeing tomorrow's episode, which is today for you guys. This is my little reaction to it. Tell me what your reaction. I always want to hear what you have to say, of course. So tell me what your reaction to the Freno was. But I thought, well done, General Hospital. It was really good. I've been crying all week. So all last week, I've been crying the whole time leading up to it. The emotions are real. Daytime Today is on all social media platforms at Daytime Today. JLJ Media is here on YouTube and all social media platforms. Talk to you later.